Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of Cine Driver, our podcast. I'm Sofia and with me there is Maria.
Hi.
But today is the 5th episode, so it's a special one for us. And we have
series.
Yeah. And we have decided to invite a friend of Maria, but more or less now it's a friend of all of us.
It's a friend of us in Europe already.
Mitch. Hi, Mitch.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Again, you might remember Mitch from the episode about Greece in not podcast, but we're radio, the random show. But this is not the random show.
No, this is Cine Drivers. Today the film will be Asan.
Yes.
Asan is a Taiwanese drama film directed and co-written by Chang Mong-hong in 2019. I hope to have pronounced the name correctly. I'm not Chinese, so I don't know.
I think it will be okay.
And the film, now available on Netflix, received 11 nominations at the 56th Golden House Awards, winning Best Feature Film and Best Director. And moreover, it obtained a good welcome from Occidental critics. So
I read that it was shortlisted for the Oscars, not nominated in the end, I don't think.
Not nominated.
I might be wrong, but at least it was shortlisted, which is already a very important thing.
And now I want to speak a bit about the plot. Son follows a troubled family of 4, a young problematic guy, his older brilliant brother, and their parents, who have invested all his hopes and expectations on the elder son, especially the father. In fact, when someone asks the father if he has sons, he answered that he has only one, and that's, in my opinion, it's one of the saddest scenes in the film, even if all the film is full of very sad moments.
Yeah, it's not the
It's not a comedy.
It's not a joyful film.
And we can say that the film tells the story of a family in which the younger brother grew up in the shadow of a golden child, Asan, as the title of the film came from. In one, the parents invested all their attention and all their openness for the family's future. But unfortunately, this attitude creates a problem for all the people in the family. So that's more or less the plot. We don't want to do spoilers, so obviously we say only some things about the film. But now I'm curious to know something more about the technical part. If you want guys to speak about cinematography or light, color, I don't know.
I would just say something very briefly, that when we were talking yesterday about the film before we recorded this, Mitch told me that the director is also the cinematographer, and yes, I checked, and he is actually not only a director, but he's also a script writer,
he's a co-writer
and cinematographer. So it's very curious that this one, as well as Roma, I don't know if you remember when we talked about Roma, but we talked that Alfonso Cuarón was also the cinematographer, and this is
you told us that was a very weird situation.
Okay.
It's not normal.
No, it's not normal. As we see in the episode about Roma, this occurrence is very, very unusual, like highly unusual. And this is because in order to be able to do this, you actually need to have, in my opinion, a very structured and organized mind, and a way of working that allows you to focus on multiple things at the same time, because you have these are 2 key roles in a film, because there are 2 heads of department in one. So in order to do that, you need to be very, very extremely focused, and not many people.
Everything scheduled
you have to pay
well.
attention to many things, and of course that leaves more space for mistakes to happen. That's why there's so many people on a set, because each person has something specific to do in order for the film to actually work. So in documentary, this
in your
might be
opinion,
easier, but
there are too much responsibility on a person.
yeah, in my opinion, I don't really, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it, I don't think. And I wouldn't want to do it. In documentary, it might be easier, and I think it's doable. But anyway, it's not something that it's generally done or that people even want to do. So yeah, it's a bit risky, but there's some people that can do it and they do it very well.
I think in the case of Roma, for sure, the final result was very nice.
It was very, very
also
good.
in this film. And we have a guest, so I think now it's time
It's his turn to
Mitch
talk.
to speak.
Yeah. More or less what I wanted to add about the cinematography. Personally, I really liked it. I thought it was the static shots and the plans and some of the camera pans that were really slow matched the whole pacing and the vibe of the movie. The movie is very bleak and very, very slow, like it's slow paced. And the cinematography combined with the use of natural lighting, which also plays a really important role in the film. The title is A Sun, so generally you would have natural lighting being very important. So yeah, I think it is. The cinematography actually plays a huge role in the film, and the otherwise simple plot gets elevated, I think, by the way the camera is. The cinematography is actually made. So I really loved it.
Very nice points. I agree. What else do we have to talk? Okay, I will say, huge disclaimer, it's very long. It's closer to 3 hours. Yeah, it's closer to 3 hours than to... It's very, very long. So if you're going to watch it, just know that it's long and it's a bit slow. I have found after watching a fair amount of Asian films that, not all of them, of course, but the one key element sometimes is like the slowness of it all. They tend to be very contemplative, very slow, and they talk a lot about actually daily life sometimes. Of course, in Asian film, especially Korean, for example, or Japanese, they do a lot of terror, and they're actually doing very well. And thrillers, they're also very good at that. But in general, I would say that they like the themes that they like more are these types of things, like daily life, family issues, social issues. So yeah, they tend to be slow. And this one, at least the first hour and a half, I would say, not 2 hours, but the first hour and a half was
slow.
Painfully slow.
Yeah, I agree. The film opens with the violence and with not in a not very slow way.
No, it opens
The
very
first part, in a style of a gangster movie, and I don't know if for you it was the same, but it reminded me a lot Tarantino works.
Mm-hmm.
But then the film starts with another approach and start to be very slow. You have to be full of energy to watch the film.
Yeah.
No, actually, I'm joking, but it's slow. But even if it's slow, I think in the end I appreciate the film.
Yeah, same.
The last hour kind of picks up, it is slow paced, but the last hour has a thriller element.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that
totally.
Also
it's
like
kind of
police
intense.
film.
Yeah, the intensity of the last hour kind of leaves an aftertaste that it was slow, but it was kind of worth it.
Yeah, actually, yes. At some point I was like, well, this is too long, too slow. But the last hour, I think it makes up for it in the end. By the way,
the last scenes was very strong.
I have to say something.
I appreciate it a lot.
Maybe you will hear a bird chirping all the time in the background. We have a fourth guest, which is a bird that it's making me very, very distracted. So if I get distracted or you hear the bird, yes, please close the window. It is our fourth guest because today is very talkative.
Today is a special day.
Yeah. Fifth episode,
I want to say that another interesting thing that I found in A Sun are the glimpses of dark humor throughout the film. I didn't know how to react when I saw them, because you are completely inside an anxious state, and then suddenly appears like this comic scenes that you don't know what to do. I have to laugh, I have to cry, I don't know.
Yeah.
But also this is an interesting thing that actually I appreciate in the end.
Yeah, it felt like you couldn't. For me, it felt like I can't laugh. Like even if I try to now, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can or if I should.
I didn't laugh in those like dark comedic moments. I didn't laugh, but I was kind of shocked. I was, as Sofia said, I didn't know how to react.
Yeah.
But it was a nice touch here and there.
Now looking at it a few days later, it's been like 2 days. Yeah, it was okay. But at the beginning, I was like, why are they doing this?
Yeah, the thing is that
I'm still
not
thinking why.
You're not expecting it whatsoever, because from the beginning, the characters have been put through so much suffering, and it's suffering upon suffering upon suffering. And I mean, especially the mother in the story, for me, I don't know how did she manage to hold up throughout the whole movie. I think that for me, that's the strongest part of the film, is how the characters manage to keep everything together and just go through that whole journey of 2.5 hours. So it's both a journey for the characters to go through the whole length of the movie, but I think it's also for the viewer, and it translates the feel of the characters perfect throughout those 2.5 hours. It's not an easy film to watch.
No, it's not easy.
And for me, in the end, the aspect that I appreciate more is that all the film is unexpected. Like the glimpse of dark humor, also all the film is unexpected, and you cannot predict anything. In particular, how and when the director chooses to reveal his character secrets make the film an amazing film. With well-acted characters, in my opinion. As Mitch said, the characters were very nice.
I really like the young. I like them all, but especially the mom. And
I
the young
like
one. I thought it was amazing, but the problem with the older one is that I wanted to get to know him more.
I don't know why, but more than the mom, I appreciate the father.
I mean, the father character is very interesting, especially towards the end. He has a very not nice, but just interesting arch.
I think was the person that changed more. He had I don't know, he had a very strong...
it's called the character's arch is the change that the character goes through from the beginning until the end. So yeah, he has a very... like a big one, I would say. What were you saying, Mitch?
Yeah, I wanted to say that about the father. He has a very convincing arc for me, and I think from all the characters, he's the one that kind of evolved the most. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe the son too. Like the protagonist also has evolved
obviously.
a lot, but I think I like the arc of the father a bit more.
Yeah, the arc of the father is the most interesting one.
I think the father more than the main character, because the protagonist, the young guy, because in the end he's still doing the same thing that he did at the beginning, more or less. So I think the father had the change more, evolved more.
It will be the most surprising change. At least it will be from the dad. Yeah, but the mom is like a rock. She doesn't change. She's always strong as strong as a rock. I was going to say, but strong. And yeah,
a strong woman that was able to manage everything. I don't know why.
Yeah, I would say that I understand why they did it, and it makes total sense for the film. At the beginning, when the film finished, I didn't like the fact that they seemed to be suffering so much, because I don't really like that in films usually, when you feel like it's all this suffering and they don't give them a break. I find that very. I mean, it's hard to watch, obviously. But I understand why the film is like that, and in the end, I think it's a film that you need to think about it for a few days. Just let it sink in, and you will appreciate it more as the days go by.
Yeah, because immediately when the film ends, you are a bit saddened and you didn't know how to react. You need to digest the film before to say something about it.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it, that at least for me, it didn't have a clear message, and the film shows a story, and it's really hard to like pick a specific thing and say, you know, that's the message of the movie. It has many spread throughout, and in a really subtle way too. So in the end, that's what I like more, like having, after 2 days that I have watched it, I think of more things that clicked, you know, in my head, and I discover new things while thinking about it.
I think one of the message of the film is also the love of a family.
Yeah, of course.
Because I think how the father managed the situation, even if you can be agree or disagree, is a symbol of love for his sons. So
yeah, it is. I mean, there's. How should I explain? It's a difficult film to. I don't know if I would recommend it. Maybe not to everyone, or maybe yes. I actually am not sure.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
I don't think it's for everyone.
It's not a mainstream film or anything. It's not like you just watch it with some popcorn and sit down, relax. It's not like that at all. You have to be concentrated and.
Yeah, and if you can be, I don't know if I think it will be better if you're in a good mood to be able to get through the 2 hours and a half. Because imagine if you're fucking sad that day and you're like, oh, let's just watch this thing. No, it's not a film for that. It's a film for, as you said, just being focused and try to be in a good mood so that you can get through it. But I think it's worth the watch, even with all the.
Like I have my tip is like, if you want to watch the movie and you get through the first hour and then you're like, this is too slow, it's like bear through it and watch the last part of the movie, because I think the third part, like the third arc, I would say is the strongest one and what really ties the whole film.
The end of the film is very strong.
Yeah, it is. It is, and even if I still think that the film could be told just in a bit less time, just a bit.
Maybe like half an hour could be chopped off.
Yes,
I
exactly.
Agree.
Even if I do think so, I think that it's true that it helps the narrative, but a bit less time. I think it could also work, but because I think that a lot of people would get discouraged when they get to the 1 hour mark. I think they will be like,
I have to say
it would be a shame
that Maria was discouraged.
I was super discouraged. It was very
late.
late
to stop the film and to change.
I was like, can we change? Because I don't know. It was very late. I was very sleepy.
But I say her, no girl, we have already seen more than 1 hour, so we have to finish it. So, and actually it was a good choice.
No, I am glad that we finished it, but at some point I was like, I don't know. Also, don't watch it at night. Watch it during the day, because if you're tired like I was, just watch it while you're eating or not eating.
No, when you're eating.
Sorry, not eating.
In the morning.
If you have nothing to do on a Sunday, for example, or a Saturday morning, that's a nice time to watch it. Just take 3 hours of your time and watch it. And the cinematography, I really, really liked it. Mitch also said that he liked it. I especially liked, I don't know why, but I really liked some scenes that were shot inside. The way they were lit, I really enjoyed it. I don't know, it had a lot of because the place that they live in, they has a lot of like colors and like different touches of like the decor is very particular, I think. So I really like the moody night scenes, I would say, or interior scenes. Those were very good. Also the ones with natural light and but the moody scenes in the interior of that, like in the house, I really liked that. I didn't like the color so much. I thought at some point it was a bit too much. I could notice the color too much. But in general, I enjoyed it. I cannot say anything else. If you have anything else to add about the...
I want to ask you, so in the end, are we going to recommend the film or not?
Yeah. Again, with the guidelines that we told you, do not watch it at night. Do not watch it if you're sad. Do not watch it if you're tired. Be patient. And I think that's about it. But I would recommend it.
I think it's an interesting film, and it's something really, really different than Western cinema.
It's not an Hollywood film.
It's also challenging, and that alone, I think it's a good point. It's worth watching.
So guys, as every episode, go watch it.
Go on Netflix. Netflix has to pay us for all these advertisements.
We're promoting Netflix in every episode because I think all the films we have watched on Netflix.
I'm going to do a spoiler. Next film will be not on Netflix.
But
so also Jess Bezon has to pay us. And so guys, we want to recommend Asan. Watch the film, tell us what you think about, and that's it for today. I think it's everything.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mitch, for joining. Mitch
Thanks
loves
for having me, girls.
And he's actually, when he speaks about film, you can tell that he really likes it and he knows some stuff.
He's a film lover. So
yeah.
Actually, it's more than a film lover. He's a film expert.
Yeah. So thank you so much. It was very nice.
Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Maraki, and see you next.
Thank you also to our technician.
Next episode.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.